Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Retro Recall. I hope you're doing awesome. Well, it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video, and well, as Adrian Black would say, it's because I came down with human malware. COVID hit me about a little over a week ago, and definitely knocked me out, and my voice and all that stuff. So I am doing my best to try to get back into it here. So we're gonna do a Thrift Finds video. Yes. I haven't done one in a little while, and given the fact that I'm still waiting for some things to come in, parts, etc., I figured I would do something and show everybody what I have found through online marketplaces, through thrifting, through donations to the channel, through anything to do with on the road, on the side of the road finds, things like that. And of course, thrift stores. So I definitely want to take the time to go through that today and show everybody some really cool finds. And I promise you, there are definitely a couple of cool finds in today's haul. So you know what? We have lots to do. Let's get right to it. Okay, and our very first Thrift Finds video item is a Creative Labs Infra 24 remote control optical drive. Now, this is one of those multimedia drives by Creative Labs that had come with that remote control. Unfortunately, I don't have the remote control for this. And, I debated even showing this as part of the Thrift Finds video, but again, the whole purpose of this is, well, Thrift Finds, and this was one of them. But I do have one other of these drives. I have one of these style drives. I believe it's a 24 as well. But again, I don't have that remote control, and I'm sure they're even harder to find today than before. Now, I did pop this in another system. I had another system up and running, and I did try the IDE interface, power, and everything. It did spin up. It did have some trouble reading discs, so I'm not sure if the laser's just dirty or the belt inside needs some maintenance. And again, I didn't do anything with this, but you can see there's definitely been exposed to some elements. There's some rust and some oxidation going on in the metal casing, but anything Creative Labs, when I see that, I definitely grab them. But if it's a fully working drive, a couple bucks, I definitely grab it. But it'd be really cool to see if I can find that remote control. So if you can, if you have a link to it or something like that, let me know in the comments. I'd definitely like to see that. So let's keep going. Okay, our next item is, well, a bag of VHS tapes and whatever this is over here. So we're going to open it up and take a look. But again, whenever I go to thrift stores or look around, whenever I find any sort of VHS tape, especially sealed, I don't generally buy them if they have already been opened or whatever. But when I see them like this in this condition, completely sealed, yes, they're Memorex, and yes, they're probably not high end, as some people say in the comments, but again, these are no longer made, right? So when the fact that I can get them sealed, I definitely grab them, because again, I have quite a bit of few VCRs or video cassette recorders that definitely can benefit from those. We also have audio video head cleaners. So if you remember those cleaner type VHS formats, you can spray some of this. It's basically just alcohol, like spray, aerosol, and you spray on the felt tab, and you put it in the machine. You play it. It runs by the heads and cleans the dirt off. I mean, you can do that manually as well. It's just an easier process. Floppy disk drives, for example, had similar cleaners where you'd spray that on, but yeah, I mean, it seems to be false and comes with even the little spray nozzle there as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, I have no idea what this is in here, so we're going to take that out and take a look. It's definitely dirty, whatever it is, so I don't know if this is something I'm going to keep around or not. Well, it looks like it's is this something to do with audio cassette? So it looks like little trays. It says here, the music tape with exclusive cushion air back coating. Side 1 by Capital warranty. This tape will be replaced if found defective in materials or workmanship. There's no other warranty express. Audio Devices Inc., a Capital Industries EMI company. I have no idea what this is. I mean, is this just, you put cassette tapes in here and it's like a little holder or something like that? or are they audio, like meant to be recording, like a little storage device of some sort? Let me know in the comments. I have no idea what this is. Again, I only bought it for the cassette tapes, and it was a couple bucks, so it didn't really matter to me, but this was inside of it. But it looks like a little housing of some sort that you put this in, and they're all kind of interlocking as well. So this whole thing looks like it slides off as well, as you can see. So again, if you know what that is, please let me down in the comments. I'd like to hear what that is. And behind door number 3, just like I like VHS tapes and any sort of media, we have some mini disc blanks. And mini discs are still manufactured over in Asia. So I know you can get these online through eBay. You can get them online. I'm pretty sure through Amazon as well. I'm not 100% sure though. But these particular ones are 100% sealed. And as I have shown on the Retro Recall already, I do have mini disc players, as well as, anywhere from the home full deck to a couple portables. I think up to 3 portables now, but I just love the format. That is something that I found really cool. And you can see the size of the disc compared to my hand, for example. And I mean, they're mini for a reason. I know the camera's not really showing it here, but I mean, again, getting the blanks even better, because I mean, being able to make your own mini discs, using various methods is really awesome. It lasts for a long time, and I thought it was a really cool technology. I know it didn't take off. CDs obviously won the battle. Being able to find them out in the wild, and saw these at a table, and they didn't even know what they were because they didn't have a player for them, but really cool. So let's keep on going. All right, the next couple of items were donated actually to me from Jordan. So Jordan, if you're watching the channel, as I know you are a big supporter and always do, thank you so much. These next couple of goodies are from Jordan. So we have a USB portable diskette drive, and it looks to be brand new in box, which is nice, new old stock. So again, it's just basically, well, it's a USB drive via what's floppy disk drive, right? And there seems to be a floppy disk in it, so may or may not have been used already, but even still, having these are awesome. I only have one of these drives, and I use it a lot. It's connected to one of my newer machines, if not one of my newest machines. And I use it to copy and back up. And, when I'm doing any sort of videos or projects, I copy files over that require any sort of floppy data. And it's quite handy having these because, again, I mean, I know you can readily still get them, but either way, it's worth their weight in gold when you're in the middle of a project and you need them access floppy drives. And I realize there's floppy emulators and all that stuff, but again, just really nice to have the physical item. Now, the next item that he donated was the game Half-Life 2. And I really liked this series and the fact that he said, you know what, I have a few extra copies of these things. So instead of me throwing them on Kijiji or online marketplaces or giving them back to the thrift store, because again, he didn't need them, he was doing some cleaning out, he said, hey, you know what, well, I'll just donate them to the channel and you can show them off. And that's something I don't do a lot on this channel, and is gaming. It's something that I do at the end of my videos in terms of showing the basically the capabilities of the machine, or just having some fun at the end. But switching it up to a couple of these types of games would be really cool, especially with the era that they're meant to be in. Thanks again, Jordan, for that. And the other thing that he passed along here, let's take a look, is, I don't even know what this is, to be honest. He kind of just put it in there, and I haven't gotten to it till now. So we're going to find out together on the channel. Hopefully it's nothing bad I'd have to edit out of the video. Let's take a look here. Okay, if we can open up. Jordan, you did a good job closing this all up on me. It's just a couple wires, I think. Let's take a look. It says Cisco Meraki on the front of it. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we have a couple of case badges. So we have designed for Microsoft Windows 98 and retro inside. So these actually look like they're from Geek and Spiel. Sure enough, there it is. Yeah, Geek and Spiel. I've ordered a few of these from Geek and Spiel. To be honest with you, I got to get back into this and get these ready, because I go work on a project. I do a restoration, as you know, through the channel. I do a lot of these videos. And I love to be able to, it just feels really good to put a fresh sticker case badge on there. So again, Jordan, thank you for that. And we have, well, some cable ties, which are extremely handy. I use these all the time in my systems. I know you may not always see that on camera, but I do after the fact. And we have an awesome Ethernet cable. Looks like a Cat 5 series Ethernet cable by the looks of things, patch cables. So these are really, really handy, especially when you're doing any sort of networking. And continuing on, what else do we have in terms of goodies here? I like the fact that you just kind of threw things together in a in a Cisco Meraki bag of no less. So keep it really in the internet, the networking themed. So it looks like we have an HDMI to HDMI connector, very short HDMI connector. So I don't have any cables actually in this length, which is really handy, especially if you're in a tight space. It's nice having this instead of having to worry about all that cable management. We have a USB to PS2 adapter. Again, really, really handy to have these, especially in the retro type builds that we do on this channel. And it looks like a goodie box that keeps on giving. And it looks like we have a USB retro Nintendo controller, Nintendo Entertainment System controller, NES. So, Jordan, I had no idea these were all in here. I know that I had your package put aside, yeah, really happy about this. So, Jordan, thank you so much for donating this to the channel and making this continue to happen. So, thank you so much. Let's keep going. Okay, another item that was actually given to me by Jordan, and you've actually seen this featured in one of my previous videos in the last 3 or 4 videos, because I needed a Windows 7 professional installation, and sure enough, this is an OEM box copy of Windows 7. And again, Jordan, thank you so much. I can't express enough this, because this is something that was kind of eluding me. I have a lot of boxed operating systems, and some sealed, some not. And this is one of those ones, just like Windows Vista Ultimate is out of my reach at the moment. I refuse to pay the online eBay prices for some of this stuff. And thank you for donating this to the Retro Recall. It will be used quite a bit on the channel. Every time we do an installation, it'll be sure be there. And then there's that beautiful disc, which I did feature on the channel already. We have a 32-bit and a 64-bit installation. There's actually 2 optical discs in here, 2 DVDs. So again, I love that. And it comes with all the documentation, license key, all the different comparisons of the versions. So I love this. So thank you so much again for donating that to the channel. And we have lots more to show, so let's keep going. And here we are with our next item that was actually a trash picked desktop PC that Jason found for me. And he had messaged me on Facebook Messenger one day, and I was out and I didn't see it right away. And he said, you know, do you want this? And he had seen it thrown in the back of a dumpster. And I said, absolutely, grab it. We'll deal with the rest later. And here we are. We have a Hewlett Packard Pavilion A305W desktop PC. Really like this OEM case manufacturing, this kind of form factor, and I like the designs of the OEMs back in the day. And you can see we're definitely going to do a video just on this PC alone, but I mean, we have the HPC writer, it says, expansion bay. We have some options here. We have front USB, working floppy, hopefully, HP, Intel Celeron, NXP badges, and a whole bunch of goodies. This, like I said, this system is built very well, very, very heavy for sure. But you can see an overall general condition of the computer. It's really, really awesome. So I'm looking forward to actually featuring this in a separate video itself. I believe it deserves its own time. And look at that modem. Always, do you think there's enough modems on the Retro Recall? But I'm really excited to get into this. I really like the OEM systems because of the ability, you know, based on the design, you know, being able to make like sleeper PCs, as people are calling them, you know, putting brand new equipment in some of these older systems, but also, you know, even restoring these systems back to what they were back in the era. But also sometimes, you know, you get expansion cards, you know, whether it's dedicated graphics and things like that you normally wouldn't see. You know, that's how I found one of my 3DFX cards for sure. And then of course, being able to restore these back into what I would say would be a retro PC of the era. But again, thank you, Jason, so much for finding this for us for the channel. Definitely going to make a great video doing even testing it to see if it works. I haven't plugged it in. I have no idea. And then doing a restoration on it if it does. So stay tuned for that. It'll be up in the future, but let's keep on going. And next we have a digital camera by Sony. And generally I don't do a lot of pickups when it comes to, digital cameras. I have, newer digital cameras that are just fine for me. This is not something I would collect or what I find interesting, to be honest with you. But the reason I grabbed this was because of what it is. So we have, it looks like a Sony CyberShot 3.2 megapixel camera. And the reason I picked it up was because of the fact that this particular model has the memory stick. And I know some of my Sony systems have the memory sticks, and I haven't had one of these in a while. But also, I had a friend who had one of these growing up, and I always remember being jealous of them because they had a digital camera and it was Sony, and Sony was one of those, systems that, you always saw around that was really cool. But the fact that it came with the Sony memory stick as well is very handy because, again, I can use that in other systems. But I haven't actually tested this yet. It was something I found while I was thrifting, and they were a little ahead of their time with these cameras, I found at the time. Again, I could be biased because I always wanted one. Throwing a couple double A's in there, and bam, you're hitting the road and being able to do that. I know other YouTubers have done video reviews and things like that on these older digital cameras, just kind of doing retrospectives on them. Now, the other thing I'll check out here to see what this came with, because to be honest with you, I don't remember. So we have a, Sony branded carrying case, which is great. We have a USB to PS2 adapter for whatever reason that's sitting in there. And what else do we have? We have the cable that will allow us to hook the camera up via USB, which is handy. And we have another memory stick, except this time it's a memory stick duo adapter. So does that allow me to hook up a regular one? I don't know what that is, to be honest. I don't know if it allows me to hook up a regular SD card, for example. I mean, SD card's a little wider than this, so let me know down in the comments for sure. But and here we are. We have a second one. It says Memory Stick Pro, 512 megabytes by Magic Gate. So I mean, it's made by SanDisk, not Sony in this particular case. But yeah, I mean, this sort of technology I found was really neat. The memory sticks, again, Sony doing what Sony does. And, they're popping out all these different formats and expecting everybody to jump on the bandwagon. I mean, some good, some bad. Next on our list is an optical mouse by the looks of things. Well, I say optical mouse, but it's not. It is a ball mouse. So that's probably why I picked it up. So we have a IBM branded ball mouse. So I have lots of Lenovo brands, but when it comes to the IBM branding, being a PS2 and the fact that it's a ball mouse is awesome, especially for the more retro feel. I realize they're not as accurate as what optical would be, but the fact that it's PS2 IBM branded, and I have a few of the IBM Think Center systems, branded IBM. So it's really nice to have this, plus some of the NetVistas and things like that, that this mouse can definitely go with. So when I see these in the wild, I grab them. Keeping on the IBM train, we have an external IBM CD-ROM drive that looks like it takes a special adapter, like a PCM card, a PC card adapter. So I don't have the adapter, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye out or look around to see if I can find one for this. But we definitely have that, and it looks like it's missing a power adapter as well. But I mean, it tells me all the information about this. But having IBM branded external optical drive, it says type model is 1669-010. Not exactly sure what speed the drive would be. I'm seeing if I can find a date on this of manufacturing, and I'm not seeing anything on here so far. You can see that there's a lot of corrosion and rust on the side, so it'd be nice to stop that from happening and get that cleaned up. But outside of that, see if I can open it yet. No, hopefully it works. I'd like to test it out. But so anything a little more unique like this, I definitely grab them, especially IBM branded, as I have a lot of IBM items. All right, let's move on to our next item. Okay, next on our list is some optical media, and there's a couple of them here actually, and I want to talk about the second one in a moment. But essentially, this was given to me by someone on Facebook Marketplace. I had messaged him and just said, "Hey, how much?" And he said, "Just come get them." He didn't want to throw them in the garbage. I don't know if he wanted to take the time to take them to a thrift store to donate them or whatever. So I went, "Sure, no problem." And these are readily available, so it's not even a big deal to find these, even online, even Staples up here in Canada. You can grab them, the Business Depot or wherever it's called and elsewhere, but you can grab these no problem. Pretty cool. The thing that really interested me was after I had grabbed them, because I'd gotten them in passing and never thought about it, was he had given me just like this. He had passed me this package like this and gave me these discs. And I thought, well, that looks weird or whatever. And I didn't think anything of it. He goes, oh, okay, you can grab this too. My wife took it off the case for some reason, like she was going to use them and didn't. Well, here they are. If you look, the difference with these is they are LightScribe CDs. If you recall, I just did that other video on the Hewlett-Packard mini desktop that I had done, the small form factor system. And I called out specifically that I wanted to find some LightScribe CDs. And you can see this is designed for that optical drive to be able to basically score an image into the label side of the optical disc. And I want to do a video on LightScribe, and that system itself specifically is something also that I'm going to be restoring. I'm actually waiting for capacitors and a couple of components I noticed that were bad. So we're going to be doing a full restoration on that particular system. However, when I saw this after the fact, I didn't even know they were. I didn't look at them. Like I said, I just looked at the top and I thought they were like just different media. But then when I saw this, I said, perfect. That's awesome. So kudos to them for donating this basically to me. These are very hard to get now. LightScribe's no longer made. And basically you can only find new old stock, unfortunately. And the prices online are absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. And you know, it's a shame really, because you know, they're for the people that have the drive still, that really need to or really want to, I should say, preserve the technology. I just wish they would come back out and start making these again. I think that was a lost feature. All right, let's keep on going. Okay, next item is not anything to do with any computers. We have a wood grain. No, not LGR. I have a wood grain realistic clock radio. And I just love the look of these. I mean, I'm not a, you know, huge wood grain guy. I don't, you know, that's not something I go for. But whenever I see a clock radio like this or older stereo equipment, this just brings back a lot of memories when I was a kid. I've shown one other one of these on the Retro Recall already in another Thrift Finds video. It had a phone attached to it and it still worked. So I haven't plugged this in yet. I'm hoping the polarity is fine on that older plug. Nothing pops up. Yeah, so there we go. So we have working 12 o'clock, you know, geek setting it to the radio. Yeah, I'm not going to continue to play that just in case it gets copyright for sure on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, the radio still works as well. So that's pretty darn awesome. And it is a realistic. So I'm not sure if that was Radio Shack at the time, but it shows, you know, certified radio realistic. It says Barrie, Ontario, gives a bunch of information. I'm just seeing, yeah, Tandy Electronics. So realistic is Tandy. So I believe that was Radio Shack indeed. Somebody took an engraver and put in a number here. I don't know what that's all about, but it is definitely engraved into the radio. So I don't know what year this came out in. I'm just looking here to see if I can see it. I don't see any sort of dates on here. But if you know what date this came out in, let me know down in the comments. But I just love the look of this. And when they work, them all cleaned up, I think that's pretty cool. Next on our list, we have the Memorex Mini DVD Essentials Kit. And this is new old stock. This is sealed, never been opened. And so normally when I see these things, I would just let them sit. But this particular one caught my eye because of the DVD. Now, mini CDRs were something that I actually bought. I thought they were so cool. So I was an early adopter of CD burning technology. We had the 1-speed and the 2-speed drives growing up. And, you know, people you would line up in my house when we could, you know, back up their music for them. And that's something that we always did. And so I was always somebody who also had the mini CDs. I thought they were really cool. Yes, obviously a lot less data you can hold on them, but I just thought the format was neat. So I never ever saw these actually. I don't remember seeing these, I should say. And so when I saw this, I thought it was so cool. I'm going to grab one. But I mean, it's a brand new set of mini DVD -R. So it says here you can put 30 minutes or 1.4 gigabytes on a disc, and it comes with your mini DVD marker and a mini DVD travel case. So there we are from Memorex. And there's not much more to tell you all about it. I mean, obviously it goes on about all the things that it comes with. I mean, how many things can you actually talk about a marker about? But anyway, it tells you all about it here and what you can do and write on it. But, you know, having it in that small form factor, I think is pretty cool. All right, next on our list is a TI or Texas Instruments notebook PC. Call it a laptop, but call it what you will. We have a 3.5-inch floppy in the front. It looks like that there is a bezel of some sort missing from the front of this. I'm not sure if the disk drive actually will eject or work. Yeah, it seems to be working just fine in that regard, but it'd be interesting to see the machine. On this side, we just have very basic, it says keypad. Looks like we have a door of some sort with a special connector, so not exactly sure. Along the back, we have, it looks like an adapter. So that's a power adapter, which I do not have for this. And we have an expansion bus ability here. So again, you obviously slide this into some sort of docking station. On the bottom, and the laptop almost feels like a toy, to be honest with you. It doesn't actually feel like a regular laptop. We do have a missing battery. Now, the person who donated this to me was Aaron. So again, Aaron, thank you. But he said as soon as he plugged it in at the time, so he actually misplaced the power cord for this, so he's looking for it. But he said at the time when he plugged the battery in, the battery started swelling within seconds. So he tossed that for me. Didn't want me to get harmed, I suppose. And then on the other side, we do have, it looks like a serial port, and it looks like a PS2 port, DB sub port for our monitor. It looks like an LPT port as well, but I believe this is a 486 if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like we have two different modes, two different monitor modes here. I don't know if it's monochrome and color, or dark mode, light mode, so to speak, where it inverts the text and the colors. And it looks like we have contrast and brightness. Now, the brightness was not turned all the way up when I'm doing this now, nor was the contrast. So I'm hoping that this is still functioning. The hinge has a lot to be left to be desired for sure. It is very, very, very weak. And that's one of those things with these older machines that you get. But definitely exciting to look into this. And of course, you have all the wonderful, remember these that go on the keyboards and things like that, shortcut keys for like WordPerfect and things like that. But we have a Texas Instruments TravelMate. Now, TravelMate obviously is something Toshiba coined as well. So I wonder if Toshiba did buy TI. Keep me honest in the comments. Win SLC, so TI 486 SLC 25 megahertz. So a 48625. We have an on-off switch under the lid here with just on and off, and it seems to be okay. The keyboard itself is extremely, well, the whole laptop is extremely filthy, but I mean, the keyboard itself, every key seems to be responsive, nothing stuck down. So that's a good sign, especially the spacebar. Sometimes these springs under these break. It'd be interesting to see if we can get this going. And again, let me know in the comments if this is something that you've owned. I definitely want to hear from people, because I've never seen a machine or this type of machine before. I definitely want to give it some good cleaning and see if we can get it up and running again. Okay, next item, I should say next items. We'll move them fairly quickly because I came across a bunch of boxed software. And anytime I see big box software, I grab it. I don't care. I just grab it, and because I like the collection, and I just like the look of the old software. So we have Railroad Tycoon, Empire Building in the Golden Age of Railroads, and it includes major cities. Canadian cities: Vancouver, Calgary, Regina, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, and more. And, I hate when the thrift store puts these stickers on here. Your ambition, your control, and your railroads. Definitely something I want to show on the channel. Let's open this up and just take a quick look at what we have. So we have a big book, lots of different, it says player cards. Do we have the software in here? There we go. So we have software on 5.25-inch discs. Which is pretty awesome. So it'd be good to, hopefully they maintain their integrity and it still works. What's this? It says proof of purchase sticker, a little floppy disk in there. All right, so it does have everything by the looks of things. So it'd be good to, actually test this out on the channel. I'll put that aside for now. Yeah, I really hate when they do that. So if you have a better idea how to get those off, let me know. Down here we have Harpoon. It just says NATO, USSR, and Harpoon. Another IBM XGA 640K is required. 360K floppy-based systems require hard drive and mouse optional, but recommended. Along the back, it looks like the covers are upside down. The Final War at Sea, NATO versus USSR. Harpoon is a startling and realistic view of how NATO and the USSR will face off. Again, not going into the whole details. I remember a game similar to this was on the NES. I believe it was called Silent Service. I really like these type of games, strategy games. Let's see if we have. So it does come with the manuals, comes with the Atlantic convoys. our operating manual, how to get it up and running. And sure enough, we have what looks like many of the 5 1/4 inch discs. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. It says here 1989. Looks like, yeah, 1989 this was manufactured. So yeah, pretty awesome to see that. So again, when it comes across this stuff, I definitely grab them. I wish I had more of them, and unfortunately a lot of this stuff ends up in the garbage, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, don't want that happening. So we have Castle of Dr. Brain. It says here, require 640K hard disk, 286 or better. Recommended mouse supports Thunderboard, Pro Audio Spectrum, AdLib, Roland MT32, Sound Blaster, of course, MS-DOS, 5 1/4 inch VGA, EGA, Tandy, sold separately by Sierra. Free inside, fantastic book of logic puzzles. Yeah, so I don't know what this is exactly, other than it says an adventure game to strain your brain. So probably just a bunch of puzzles and basically things you have to solve. But I always like to look in here to make sure that we have everything. That gives you this cool booklet. And quite a few. Look at that. I just absolutely love this. And I don't know if this is on archive or not. I know archive's been having quite a bit of problems lately, but let me know if this is on archive.org. I'm happy to archive these. And if they're not, I mean, I'll probably end up just doing them. I just won't do them right away. Just let me know and I can do them. But yeah, I love seeing this old stuff, and I'm glad they're being preserved. So again, when I see these in the thrift store, I grab them ASAP. And yeah, and I encourage anybody else who's into this stuff to do the same. And then we have The Lost Admiral, the strategy and tactics game of the decade. Again, it looks like the same era. I'm not going to read all of it again, but we have that. And it's going to make sure it does have the disc. So I love that it comes with the all the books, all the different manuals. You lose a lot of that stuff now. But yeah, okay, we have some discs in there. Scenario 5, The Leader's Journey, 30 turns. And then it gives you all different strategies. Look at that. Look at the color printouts. Anyway, that'll be a whole other video when I go through these and actually play them. Maybe December will feature some of this stuff. I think that's actually pretty appropriate when we go to do that. I was actually thinking today what I'm going to do for December. So maybe we'll play some of these strategy games. I think that's pretty neat. I'm going to continue on. It's from a different source, this next items that I'm going to show here. But these actually came from Rick. It's a family member of ours. And he was with a friend in a city about an hour and a bit away. And he basically said they were throwing these in the garbage. He said, "Do you want them?" And I said, "Absolutely. Anything to do with big boxes, big box software, I definitely grab them." So we have requires Windows 95, NT Workstation 4. Remember Microsoft Encarta? This is the 98 Deluxe Encyclopedia. 3 CDs, 2 CDs are Deluxe Encyclopedia, and 1 is for Research Organizer. I always loved poking around on these. I mean, back in the day, I mean, we had that big encyclopedia set you had, but when you had it all on CD and you could do all your searches and go through all these images, I thought this was so cool. And I remember back in the day, back when it was, I think it was Encarta 97 I had, or Groyler's Multimedia Encyclopedia 96 or 95. We got that, and we as in me, started going through all the different images, and I just started printing them on my inkjet printer, which was so silly, but I was a kid, and I burned right through the cartridge, right? And I got in so much trouble for that, but it's a memory that I have of these encyclopedias. But I'll feature that in a separate video again. But I think it's really cool going back in time and seeing where we came from when it comes to a lot of this software. And another one, yeah, it looks like a sealed, whatever this is. What, is it sealed? Yeah, no, it's still sealed. We have a sealed copy from Interplay. It says Tommy Interactive Adventure, Then and Now, the musical, the movie, the album. So I'm not exactly 100% what this is, but it is sealed. Cinematic multimedia. It says travel with Pete Townsend into the heart of the most electrifying rock epic ever. So we have the Canadian Encyclopedia World Edition, and we have a 4 CD-ROM set. Your gateway to Canada and the world. A new bilingual version as well. And so, the Canadian Encyclopedia is something, actually, I think that's the physical set we had. But it shows you all the different, items related to Canada, obviously, here. The 2000 Canadian Encyclopedia World Edition, a world comparison. And obviously doesn't have stuff just from Canada, but it'll have a lot of Canadian references in here. And then over here, we have Well, it looks like a Microsoft wheel mouse, but I love the box because I have a couple wheel mice, but we don't have the mouse itself. The mouse, I believe, is the mouse that they had replaced the wheel mouse with, but I do have that exact mouse. But we have the box for it, so that's pretty neat when I saw that, of course. And again, it was donated to the Retro Recall. All right, I believe I have one more item to show everybody, and this is more of the grand finale, which is about to come up. This is something that I am going to show a feature in a video, but it's one of my older machines that I was able to get on Facebook Marketplace. So here we go. Okay, our last item while I was thrifting, and yes, this was not donated to the channel. This is something that I found on Marketplace. It was actually part of an estate sale, and I promised the people that I bought this from, they gave me such a great deal on this, that I would do a full-fledged video on this unit. They're really interested in seeing this. We have a Compaq portable. I believe it's the first version of this system. I don't know a lot about this. I am going to be relying on a friend of mine that I have, Majenko Tech, and a few others to guide me through some of this. But this is definitely a really heavy portable machine. And again, this is the finale to the Thrift Finds video. And every once in a while, you do find something really awesome like this. I wasn't gonna get it, but Majenko, he was taunting me to get it, and I did. But it even comes with this original case that goes around the whole unit. It is Compaq branded. I think this is definitely the star of today's Thrift Finds video. I'm not going to show you anything today when it comes to turning it on or anything like that, but you know, just give me an idea. Unfortunately, they left this on here, and it seems to, I don't see him has done any damage to the port, but there's some bending going on because when it's stuffed in the case, it's kind of up against it. So before I put it back in, I'm going to have to get some pliers and things like that to remove this, because as this is moving, so is the nut up against the card. So I want to make sure we get that removed. But we do have CGA by the looks of things. Serial. Looks like we have a Hayes modem. As you know, I have a Hayes modem that everyone sees and features on the channel. It's the 9.6 baud, but I don't know what this would be, but interesting that it's in there. And then we have, like I said, a CGA here, but and printer and serial, all that stuff. I'm really excited to get into this because this just baffles me. This is why I do this. To me, this is really cool stuff you get to learn about and showcase on the channel, and really makes this really neat and cool. And my reactions are genuine because, you know, there's nothing scripted. And when I get this stuff, you know, especially in this really good condition, and by the way, I have seen this tested. This has turned on. It has these little feet along the bottom here that open up. So remember, this is a sealed unit, right? I mean, this is the housing. You carry it because it is the portable. This is pre-laptop, obviously, and so it has little feet, and then you would open it up. And it's going to take a look at the other side again. Again, we'll dedicate its own video to this, but it has these plastic doors that go up and down. The other side's currently down because it has that printer cable plugged in, but we have an on-off, big chunky on-off power switch. It looks like we can hook up our power cord to there, which is right here. It's nicely stuffed in that corner. And looks like we have some heat dissipation area in this area. So no doubt there's probably a fan in there. Now it's interesting. So it says Computer Land San Diego, and the date that's engraved in it says 3-7-86. So my goodness is all I'm going to say. I mean, I'm still older than this, but not by much, I'll tell you. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go one step further for everybody who is stuck around in the Thrift Finds video today. I'm going to show everybody basically the front of it and the condition it's in, because again, it's in really, really good shape. It's just really heavy and awkward to move around. And I'm trying to be very careful because of that cable that we have on the side there. And you can see just everything. I couldn't imagine this being portable, but you know, considering what the old computers were, this is probably portable in those terms. So on the bottom, we have two little latches here. You see it says open and closed, or maybe the camera doesn't pick up on it, but I'll go open for both. And again, they work. And then it just folds out here, and there we are. So look at that. I mean, just an absolute treat to have this on the channel. This is just astonishing for me. Having a system this old, it's probably one of my oldest, if not the oldest system, one of my oldest ones. So it's really nice. And then so we have, looks like a brightness control down here. We have our Compaq logo. We have a 5 1/4 inch drive, And then it says, remember, if move, then park. It's a hard disk, an MFM hard disk. Again, I think it's MFM. My understanding is that the system will not post, post, but will not boot. And it does have a hard disk. So I'm curious to see if, percussive maintenance will be able to get this up and running again. Do we have some stiction going on in the hard disk? But my goodness, if we can get that up and running, I think that'll just be an absolute treat on the channel. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about this, because this is something I've had for a little while and I wanted to show everybody. Just a museum piece. I think this is absolutely awesome. Okay, I'm going to set all this back around, get the bench all set up for our outro. And here we are at the end of the video, and I made it through still breathing and not coughing too much. So that's a bonus. And thank you to absolutely everybody who's donated to the channel, who donated a lot of this stuff, and as well as pointing me in directions where to look for things. So thank you so much. And I love the fact that, every once in a while you find a really cool item, something unique, like the mini DVD stuff back there, even that tape stuff. I have no idea what that is. So again, let me know what that tape contraption is. Let me know in the comments. It's so neat finding some of this stuff out in the wild, and all the different box software, and especially this Compaq portable. This is definitely the star of the show. I wanted to wait till the end to show everybody, and I'm really excited to be able to feature this in the video. I am going to rely on the community for this, as I mentioned earlier, because again, this is really at the early start of my computing history. So really interested to know more about this and walk through the proper steps in getting this going properly and getting this properly restored. But again, thank you to absolutely every one of you who watch this channel, everybody who helps this channel grow. We're almost 2 years into this channel. It started off as a hobby for me, and it's turned into what it is, again, because of you. I know of late there's been a few gaps in my video production, but life has been happening lately. But we're going to hope to continue to push through. We're almost hitting 14,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps this channel grow. Hit the notification button, change it to all. You'll be notified of new content when it's produced, just like this. Again, leave a comment down below. Did you own any of these items, or do you have any experience with this Compaq portable? Let me know again down below. I love hearing the comments. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, share the heck out of the video, help everybody, come to the channel. There's lots of great content across different eras of computing. And again, I love doing this for everybody, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I love doing it. Thank you so much for watching, always making new content. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.